Hi everyone, this is How to Suck Less at Ultra Street Fighter 4. And today we're going to be talking about Sakura and frame data. So, Sakura, she is a little bit like the Shoto guys, Ken and Ryu with their specials, which we'll get to in a second, but only superficially. All the moves are a little bit different in important ways. So, her pokes and normals. So, she's got all the regular low kicks, which actually has a bit of range to it, this one. She has a medium crouching kick, which is very useful, has quite long range. And her standing fierce has quite a bit of range to it. In addition, and this is going to be important for gameplay, she has a very fast overhead. So overheads, moves that will hit your opponent even if they're crouching, and or actually only if they're crouching. They have to stand to block it. It's forward and medium kick, and quite fast. Doesn't really combo into much, but quite fast. For specials, it's a lot like Ken and Ryu. You know, she has a fireball, she's got a hurricane kick, she's got a dragon punch, and then she's got a dragon punch motion, but you press kick. And she does this strange jump. And if you press punch while she's doing it, she juggles the guy around a bit. Right? So, what do you do with these? We're going to go over the ultras and supers a little bit later, but for specials, what do you do with these things? Well, the dragon punch. Let's go over this. What do you do with this? Nothing. You don't do anything with it. It's pretty bad. It doesn't really do a lot more damage than anything else in combos. Maybe if a guy throws a fireball at you, or rather jumps over one of your fireballs, I should say. You know, and then you do this. You're going to run towards him and get him as he jumps in. Maybe. Other than that, I don't think you should really be using it much. Her fireball, well, you should be doing whatever you do with fireballs. Throw them. You shouldn't really be ever far away with from your opponent with Sakura, because she is a rushdown character, which we're going to get to in a second. Though the charge up one, I gotta say, it only goes this far, but it's good for what they call a meaty attack. A meaty attack is an attack that after you knock your opponent down, he has to block because the attack is there when they're getting up. So after you knock them down, right? No choice but to block it, really. So it's pretty good for that. And you can follow it up with an overhead, a hurricane kick. This thing, you don't ever use outside of combos. It's not safe. We'll get to one use for it in a second. And then there's her hurricane kick, which is really her bread and butter. Sakura's hurricane kick, all three of them, all three strengths, the short, medium, and the hard one, are all safe. They're all safe on hit, and they're safe on block. And some of them have even a decent frame advantage, which means frame advantage is a measure of how far ahead of your opponent you will recover from your move and be able to do something. The game runs on 30 frames a second, and so the frame advantage on this one is 4 frames. So you're going to finish a little more than a tenth of a second in front of your opponent. And you don't need to know that for 2 reasons. The first reason is that I'm going to tell you which moves are safe and which ones aren't. And the second reason is that if you do an unsafe move, you will find out pretty quickly, because that one friend of yours who plays more Street Fighter than you is going to do something horrible to you when you finish the move. And you'll go, oh, that move isn't safe. But all of these ones are safe. So Sakura's bread and butter, what she does is basically pokes low or hard, and then just moves these things cancels them into her hurricane kicks, right? And then you're going to throw in some overheads there when they start blocking low. You're going to keep it going. And this is just what you do. You're going to use the quickest move or poke that you have that's going to hit in any given distance or situation. And then you're going to move ahead by using your hurricane kick. Now, the real important thing when you're doing this, other than trying to get some flow to it, is to know when to stop. So you get a little far away and you think your opponent's going to do something, and it's really important that you let them do it, because they're going to be gaining meter while you're doing this. They're going to get Ultra Meter, and they're going to want to use their Ultra Combo. And at some point, they're going to be mashing those buttons, trying to fit it in between your hits. And if you stop, if you know they're going to do it, and you know you've created a bit of an opening for them, you just let them do it, they will do it, and you will have an opening. Now, what do you do with an opening with her? Well, now we're going to get back to her Hurricane Kick, and we're going to look at her EX moves. So 3 of them are, well, 2 of them I should say, are not that great. So there's the EX Fireball, repeat it's a Fireball. There's the EX Dragon Punch. It does more damage. And then we have 2 interesting moves. We have the EX, I don't know the name of the move, but the Dragon Punch with Kick. And the really fun thing about that one is it homes in on the guy. So if you are against an annoying player, a Sagat or a Ryu, and they're throwing a bunch of fireballs, when they throw a fireball, you use the EX version, and it gets them right over to you. Right? And not only does it hit them, get a little bit of damage, but now you've closed the gap again. So if they're trying to play keep away with you, you've instantly closed the gap. Right? And the most interesting one is her EX Hurricane Kick, because it knocks guys up in the air. And so you know there's going to be some applications for that. So you're doing this, maybe they throw a fireball, maybe you get an opening, maybe you just throw it out, because this is safe too. You hit this, you follow it up with the little spike move for a combo, right? Now, her ultras. I'm going to cover super last. She has a Fireball Ultra, forward circle, forward punch, and if you choose this one, you get a 2-for-1 because she's got one that goes diagonally up as well. The motion when pressed kicks, double quarter circle forward and kicks. So yeah, if you got extra meter, you're doing combos, you throw out one of these guys, combos. Her other Ultra she's got hits low, and you don't like it that much. It does a little more damage, but it's harder to hit with. You can even hit with it off of this thing. But it's finicky, the timing's weird, and if your timing's a little bit off, you're not going to get it, so I don't recommend it. Her super, double quarter circle back and kick. If you're using her super, you're playing her wrong, because you should be using that blue meter to do EX moves, specifically this guy. So, the game with Sakura, pokes, her Hurricane Kick, wait until they start blocking you, and then throw, or wait until they start crouching, and overhead, and then if you think they're going to do a move, you let them do your move, you do something horrible. See you next time.